This is the first time I am recording this on my laptop with Audacity because for whatever reason, the microphone app on my iPod, I have done like 2 takes for this video, and for whatever reason, I could not get the recordings for them. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. What the fuck? So until then, this is my 3rd take in recording all of this, and here's to hoping that this will work out in the end. Again, this is my first time using Audacity to like do voiceover work, but until then, I do hope you enjoy the audio quality for this entire video, I guess. The 2 of us, kicking ass out there, cleaning up the streets. We're a couple of new cops out there, so bad guys, be warned. A quote said by Nick Wilde voice actor Jason Bateman during a 2023 interview with Cinema Blend regarding Zootopia 2. This quote has nothing too significant with what I'll be discussing in today's video by any means, but whenever I think about this quote, I think about another certain anthro-criminal film, if you will. Also, I swear to God, but I feel like he manifested or something, considering that a sequel for The Bad Guys was announced earlier this year and is set to be released in 2025, the same year Zootopia 2 is going to be released. A Bad Guys sequel announcement was not on my 2024 bingo card, but hey, here we are now. I mean, the concept of a crossover between the 2 films is something that lives rent-free in my brain at this point, especially considering that both of them have sequels that will be released in 2025 next year. But alas, I'm going to talk about one out of the 2 films for this entire video, and it's not Zootopia 2. But that's besides the point. Recently, DreamWorks has released the teaser trailer for the upcoming Bad Guys sequel, and in today's video, I want to break down and analyze each scene that was seen in the trailer. And when I'm not making any art, consider this video as my contribution for the Bad Guys 2, if you will. This is my first time doing a video like this, and hey, I wouldn't mind doing this kind of content again in the near future. Alrighty then, let's get into everything. So we get an opening shot of what appears to be a city in either Egypt or India. Egypt because of the pyramids in the background, and India because of some of the buildings that look a bit reminiscent of the Taj Mahal, or at the very least, a bit reminiscent to just general architecture in India. Maybe an amalgam of the 2 countries, perhaps. Also, I'm sorry if my knowledge on geography sucks, but that's what this scene reads to me, though feel welcome to correct and educate me on this in the comments down below. We then get a shot of a building, and it cuts to Mr. Wolf in a flying suit diving into the building. It then cuts to him removing the suit and goggles and is wearing his original white attire with the rest of his crew then joining him. That black cape he was wearing, it may feel like he was giving Batman, but to me it felt like he was giving Megamind for some reason. Anyway, it then cuts to a zoom in of a black muscle car, you know, that car from the first film, and they steal it.
Oh, baby!
The car breaks through the building, a car chase scene happens, the crew release a couple of chickens, and then Wolf says this:
I am never driving another car ever again!
It then cuts to Wolf driving a nearly broken car, and we get a piece of text that reads, 5 years later. I'm assuming that this is either a 5-year split between Wolf stealing the black car and Wolf driving in that blue car, or a 5-year split between the events of the first film and him driving that blue car. Also, gotta love that engine spewing out the notes of Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. Which, by the way, really quick, I'm absolutely over the song at this point. I feel like ever since the teaser trailer for the first film dropped, that was when I was completely over that song. No shade to Billie and her music, by the way, but I don't know, DreamWorks. It would have been nice to hear maybe California Love by Tupac. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie though, the orchestral rendition of Bad Guy sounds pretty good. We then see Wolf stepping out of the car in his blue suit, the one suit that he wore for the gala in the first film, which I find interesting, but I'll get into that a bit later. It then cuts to a flashback of the bad guys being released from jail, which was the mid-credits scene from the first film, and it then fades to a scene of the crew with the chief in present time, assuming this happens later in the film, and we also get this.
What was that?
I panicked, okay? I'm a panicker.
Oh boy. Going back to Wolf in that blue suit, it just so happens that that he's going to the bank, that one bank that he stole from in the first film, for a job interview. There was even another shot of Wolf and his crew in the blue car with Shark helping move the car. I also like that smiley face on the window. Now, I don't know why, but I find the blue suit that he's wearing for the job interview interesting because, yeah, sure, that is the suit that he wore for the gala, but like, out of all of his wardrobe, he chose that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a stunning suit, but it feels over the top to be worn for a job interview, in my opinion. Like, sir, I hope your suits have variety. After that, we get to see 3 new characters, a feline, a warthog, and a bird, and the bad guys tied up in chairs as a projector plays the scene where Wolf and Snake try to steal the golden dolphin in the museum during the first film. So, from left to right, these ladies are Pigtail, Kitty Cat, and Doom. I don't think Pigtail and Doom's names were name dropped in the trailer, but Kitty's was. These 3 are actually based off of characters from the bad guys books, and in the books, these characters are members of an underground global organization called the International League of Heroes. Pigtail's book counterpart is Agent Hogwild, Kitty's counterpart being Agent Kitty Cat, and Doom's counterpart being, well, Agent Doom. Agents of Doom? Glove of Doom? Now, I haven't read any of the books, but for those who have, please feel welcome to fill me in and share some lore within these characters in the comments below. Overall, I'm looking forward to how these 3 will be implemented for the bad guys cinematic universe, if you will. Also, a bit off topic, but what is up with female anthros looking like soccer moms lately? Now we cut to a shot of the bad guys and the bad girls, if you will, walking towards some kind of space coast that looks like Cape Canaveral in Florida. I'm not saying that they are in Cape Canaveral, nor do I think they're in Florida, but that's what it reminds me of. Also, I love Wolf's stance in this shot.
I'm not exactly asking.
This might be the closest we'll ever see of Wolf in a bondage moment, let alone with this character. I mean, what? I didn't say that. What? What do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you on about? It then cuts to the police showing up at a place called Lords of Lucha. Initially looking at this sign, I thought that they were at a casino in Vegas or something, but I'll get into this a bit later. It cuts to another scene of the bad guys at what appears to be the chief's office. I'm assuming this is the same office that was in the Maraschino Ruby animated short. Also, let's take a moment to appreciate this mug and Web sitting on that mug. Like, oh my god, she's so cute here. Going back to Lords of Lucha, I had to look up what lucha is, and well, this is lucha libre, the term for the professional wrestling style that originated in Mexico, which leads to one of my initial thoughts actually being confirmed, if you will. Like, you can see the human characters even wearing those wrestler masks and a wrestling match between Shark, Piranha, and another anthro pig. I don't know if that's Pigtail or like another new character. So we got a glimpse of the bad guys going to Mexico in this film, and my point has been made pretty much. That being, it looks like the bad guys are going to Mexico, that is. Also, Wolf says this.
We just gotta do this one last job.
I don't know why, but him saying one last job must be a reference to the very last book of the series, One Last Thing, even though I'm pretty sure this film takes place in the middle of the book's run, I guess. So we get another shot of the car chase flashback scene, and it then cuts to a 1v3 fight between the bad girls and Diane Foxington at the space station as the rocket takes off, and we even get some shots of Diane fighting Kitty with a suitcase. My god, I miss my wife so much. Even though we've only got like a few seconds of Diane, it's so great to see her again. The animation on her looks pretty great too. I mean, let's be honest, the animation in this film so far looks absolutely stellar. It absolutely looks good. Another thing to point out in regards to the books is that Diane's book counterpart, who's called Agent Fox or Ellen, is also a member of the International League of Heroes. Going over this film and the rivalry that Diane has with the bad girls, I suppose there have been many people wondering if they used to be friends and had a falling out, just for them to see each other again, which led to this fight. I personally believe that Diane used to work for these girls and maybe they they did have some kind of falling out, but we have to wait what happens when this film finally gets released. Like, it wouldn't surprise me that like maybe these four girls were like friends during like Diane's Crimson Paw days. We then get a shot of Tiffany Fluffit as a helicopter hovers over her and it goes towards the rocket ship. At first, I assumed that maybe one of the bad guys, specifically Wolf, was taking over the helicopter, but I guess say goodbye to that assumption considering there's like a human inside the helicopter. So my second assumption would be Cuddles, who is Professor Marmalade's butler. So Marmalade is coming back? I know Marmalade is also a key factor for most of the books, so I guess this might not come off as a surprise that he's making a comeback. It then cuts to Shark being the master of disguises as he always has. I don't know what for aside from the fact that there's like a wedding happening. Are Wolf and Diane going to get married in this film? Also, one, I love the license plate, and secondly, who has the bravery and balls in wanting to try calling that number? We then go back to the rocket and it involves a shot of the bad guys running on the rocket, and we then get this stellar shot of them jumping off the rocket with the camera zoomed out. Very, very exquisite. I'm going to assume that this is probably like the last act of the film, and boom, here's the logo for the sequel, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good. And then the trailer ends with a moment between Snake and Doom, and well, I'll let you be the judge.
You're a grumpy little snakey wakey.
Is she your hostage?
No, she's my girlfriend.
Why is she in his mouth?
F in the chat for the Fluffy Venom shippers out there, myself included. For some who don't know, Fluffy Venom is the ship name between Wolf and Snake. Now, another thing to point out in regards to the books, and by the way, this is from what I've heard other people say, since again, I haven't read the books, but feel welcome to correct me if I happen to get something wrong, is that Snake and Doom were lovers at one point, but fell out of love later throughout the book's run. So going over their relationship in the film, I have mixed feelings. I just feel like she's taking advantage of him, and maybe this relationship wouldn't last long. Now, I'm not saying that I want Fluffy Venom to be canon if Snake and Doom do break up, but at this point, I feel a bit iffy. Also, damn, they freaky as fuck. Like, good for them for being into this shit, but like, Snake, have you ever done this to Wolf before, or And that wraps up my breakdown and analysis of this teaser trailer. Overall, this was a solid teaser, and I can't wait to see what DreamWorks is going to deliver with this one. And hey, if there happens to be something that I missed in the trailer, please let me know in the comments. Also, what are you excited for the most with this film? Let me know in the comments about that as well. This wasn't the kind of video that I thought that I would do, as I wanted to get into other projects and focus on college work and family, but alas, the universe had other plans for me. But hey, if you want to see more videos like this, let me know. With that being said, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. If you like this video, feel welcome to hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, feel welcome to subscribe if you wish. Don't forget to check out my social media platforms in the description below, and feel welcome to share this video. That's the end of the video. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Drink some water, please be kind to each other, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Goodbye for now. Go bad or go home.